Weak armor, weakness policy, indoor Armarouge is something that has been on the rise recently, and it has gotten a new top placement with a top 16 at the Latin American International Championship, featuring some really cool partners, including a speed booster Tera Poison Roaring Moon, alongside a power bracer skill swap Bronzong hard trickery mode as well. We're going to be trying out this team and see how well it performs. This is a weak armor, weakness policy, indoor Armarouge with a lot of cool techs on this team. You have the speed booster Roaring Moon to activate it with the U-turn for the Tera Psychic on the Armarouge, so you can self U-turn, bring out the entity, and then have that powerful expanding force. But the Roaring Moon is also really great coverage because you also get that Tailwind option as well with that Roaring Moon to help match out against opposing Tailwinds, as well as Earthquake. So you have spread attack that can hit the Armarouge, activate that policy so you can avoid redirection. So a lot of ways that the Roaring Moon actually really benefits this weak armor, weakness policy Armarouge in a way. And then you have some really other cool attacks with the Choice Specs Torkoal, which is meant to one sweep under Trick Room, but also can give Protosynthesis to the Roaring Moon in case the booster energy was used up earlier and the Roaring Moon had to retreat to activate the Psychic Terrain from the entity. So a lot of cool synergy with the team. You have the Bronzong with the Power Bracer with Skill Swap to help out against like all the Rain Dance Tornadoes, because they can only choose to taunt or Rain Dance, so they can't do it at the same turn. So that allows Torkoal to really do a lot of damage. Also helps against Heatran, get rid of Flash Fire, and the Power Bracer just makes the Bronzong be able to move first under Trick Room. So you can either reset the weather or you can get rid of an ability that might be able to hinder Torkoal. Ursaluna for a heavy damage output, and of course Indy for the Psychic Terrain with Goggles. It is a really cool team concept. If you'd like to try it out, the rental code's on your screen. You can check out the details of the team in the creator down below the description. For Rigorath, Golden Go, Iron Hands, Rillaboom, Tornadus, and Urshifu. Okay. Now, this matchup's a bit interesting, mainly because they have Trick Room, but also they have Tornadus, Urshifu, plus the Rillaboom. I'm not really too concerned about getting this the size spam mode going. Doesn't seem really strong in this matchup. I mean, it can overwhelm some Pokemon, but there is a Ferrograft, there is the Golden Go, there is the Grassy Terrain. Like, it's possible, but I actually think I could probably sweep if I position Bronzong next to Inity in a really good position. I think I'm going to go with the Bronzong, and I'm actually going to go Bronzong plus the... do I want to go Bronzong plus Roaring Moon, or do I want to go Bronzong plus... I think Bronzong plus Roaring Moon makes a lot of sense to me, but I think it might be Bronzong... Actually, no, Bronzong Entity makes more sense to me. Mainly because I'm worried about Tornadus or Shifu, and I'm going for Rain Dance Surging Strikes turn 1. I have the Torkoal in the back, and then I think it's the Ursaluna, I'm pretty sure. Let's try it out and see how well it performs. I kind of liked Roaring Moon too. I think Roaring Moon could have definitely been a good Pokemon here, mainly because they don't exactly have the best ways to handle it, but I don't have the greatest ways of covering for Golden Go with Roaring Moon. So I want to have make sure I have two attackers under Trick Room, because a lot of this mode is going to come down to, can I position the Trick Room sweepers well? So if I'm bringing support Pokemon like Bronzong and Inity, I probably need to. We're going to see Inity plus Ferrograft lead, which is actually really good for me, as I do lead the Inity plus Bronzong right here. And yeah, this is perfectly fine. I'm able to go for a Iron Defense immediately with the Bronzong, and not really too worried about Ferrograft unless it's Nasty Plot. I think I'm just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam here and get some chip, I suppose. Might as well. Like, I don't see what this lead really does to break through what I currently have on the field. And I can set up Trick Room later in the game. If they set up Trick Room up for me, that's perfectly acceptable. So I don't know what this lead here is. Maybe it's Imprison stuff and I have to breed the Giraffe first, which is fine. I can set up with the Iron Defense first. So we get the Dazzling Gleam, we get some chip, which is going to be important. It is the Imprison stuff. Okay, so this makes more sense to me. All right. And they went for a Drain Punch straight in Indy. That's fine. All right. So if I get rid of the Giraffe, I'm in a good spot. It's the question of, can I get rid of Giraffe first? We're able to go for an Iron Defense right here. Get that +2 with Bronzong. I need to clear that Giraffe as soon as possible. We're going to go for an Iron Defense once again. And not having Protect kind of stings here. I don't want to go harder Saluna just yet. I think I'm just going to go for a... let me just guarantee. Okay, so they do have Trick Room confirmed, which is pretty reasonable. I think I'm just gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam here, get some chip, and just see here, because I don't think helping on +2 body press is doing that much to Ferrograft. Oh, it has Shadow Ball. Okay, the Bronzong taking a bit of a beating here. The Drain Punch into Indy, that's fine. All right. That makes it quite questionable right here, because I am going for the Iron Defense again. Bronzong is going to be able to... Let's see, that did 84, so I have to Follow Me here to Shadow Ball away. I'm going to go for the Body Press now and go for Follow Me. Yeah, this is where actually Roy Moon would have been pretty helpful, I think, in this endgame, but... It's not, I guess Imprison was not like the most unlikely option, but it definitely was not what I was expecting here. So we are going to be able to go for Follow Me, redirect that Shadow Ball from the Bronzong. I kind of wish I went for Follow Me the last turn instead of going for that Dazzling Gleam chip. I was not expecting Shadow Ball 2 on the Farigiraf, so definitely some surprises here. Let's see if this is +4 Body Press can knock out the Farigiraf, which, okay, it does, which is actually pretty good here. Okay. Good. And now we can go Torkoal here, and we're going hard Torkoal because if they go out in oh, they went Tornadus here actually. Okay. Interesting. I do go Torkoal here. I'm going for the Heat Wave, and I'm going to go for Trick Room because if they have Taunt on the Tornadus, they won't be able to knock out the Bronzong, which is pretty big. So I am going to go for Trick Room. I am going to go for the Heat Wave. Let's see what they have here as an option. This is a Choice Specs Heat Wave. I don't actually, should I Tera the Torkoal? Maybe the extra power would have been pretty nice, although I could see myself still tearing the Ursaluna in the end game. Well, let's see. Rain Dance is going to come out. That's completely fine. So Bronzong's going to survive the turn. I can go for a Terrifier skill swap Heat Wave the next, and I'll be completely in a good spot. So they go for Wall Charge. It actually does a lot of damage to my Torkoal. I'm a little bit surprised. Here comes a Heat Wave into the Tornadus. Get a burn on the Tornadus. I don't think that's really going to matter too much here. And we do get Trick Room up. So we do have that Power Bracer on the Bronzong. And this is the perfect spot for it because we do have Skill Swap on it. With Rain Dance on the Torn, I'm not sure if they have Taunt because I feel like they would have maybe taunted first. I guess we'll find out if they have Taunt this turn. But the order should be Bronzong with the Power Bracer so I can Skill Swap the Torkoal. And then I'm going to go for the Terrifier Heat Wave and try to knock out the Tornadus here. A lot of Tornadus have been dropping Taunt recently, and I feel like if you have the Imprison Farigiraf, I don't expect you to have Taunt Tornadus with it as well. So my goal here is to try and get rid of Tornadus, make sure that the sun is up, and then power through this team. So let's see if we can accomplish that. So they really have Taunt Rain Dance on this team. Oh my goodness. Why? The one time, man. The one time. Okay. We are still going to go for a Terrifier, get some pretty good damage off across the board. Okay. We go for Wall Charge again. I mean, this is still probably acceptable, realistically. I wonder if I knock out the... Psychic Terrain disappears from the battlefield, which is fine. Tornadus looks like it goes down the next turn. I'm going to go for Body Press, I guess, in the hands and just Heat Wave. Hopefully we are able to do enough damage. Body Press actually knocks out the hand, so it's single target Heat Wave and the Tornadus. This should pick up the knockout, so I guess I'm not in an awful spot, but like the one Tornadus that had to have it, like I set it up for that situation, did not get it unfortunately, but okay. Get rid of Tornadus. Now it's down to a 3v1 scenario. Let's see if it's Golden in the back. No, it's Rillaboom. Oh wow. I guess like you need it for Armarouge Indy. I wasn't expecting Tornadus, but yeah, we are going to see the Rillaboom come out, which is... I guess this is still like a little bit of a complicated endgame, but... Actually, no. Bronzong should just beat the Rillaboom. It actually just solos the Rillaboom, so I might as well just go for the Heat Wave here and the Body Press. I don't even know if Grassy Glide even knocks out the Torkoal this range, so if they aren't able to knock out the Torkoal, the game's 100% over. But yeah, like this Bronzong is... They actually brought nothing to beat Bronzong other than Shadow Ball Farigiraf, which I don't know why it's Shadow Ball Farigiraf. So, because it does, you can't break through Entity. I guess you can hit the Armarouge, but we are going to see the Tera come out from my opponent. All right, so don't tell me this is Tera Ghost. If you're Tera Ghost, I actually will have some problems. Okay, it's Terrifier, and that Tera Ghost was a thing on Rillaboom. There were some players that used it at Lily Regionals because, quote unquote, it helps with the Rinya matchup with the, what's it called? It helps with the Choice Band Dragonite, I guess, but I don't know if it really does. Here comes a Heat Wave into the Rillaboom. Am able to get some chip, which is actually still pretty good chip. Okay. The question is, do I want to swap out? I really don't want to swap out. Yeah, I don't think I really want to swap out. I'm just going to go for a body press into Rillaboom. I'm going to go for a heat wave here and get some chip again into their Rillaboom. Body press. Oh my goodness, that actually almost KOs. Heat wave going to come out into the Rillaboom. And even though Bronzong wasn't able to skill spot with the Power Bracer, which I want to showcase this attack because it would have just destroyed here, I think, even with the Terrifier Rillaboom. I guess it was good enough. We were able to... Yeah, Bronzong was actually the MVP. Was just able to sweep with body press. Was not expecting that one against their team. I really thought it was going to be like Urshifu. Was really expecting... I mean, once I saw... I guess it kind of makes sense that they had to bring Rillaboom. Wasn't expecting the Torn, so maybe I should have thought about like what was in the back more. But Rillaboom was a lot easier to handle than Urshifu. I'll definitely tell you in that end game. Dondozo, Heatran, Rillaboom, Fluttermane, Urshifu, and Salamence. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same team. Basically, I'd imagine that Alex Gomez used to get top 16 at the Latin American International Championship. So, pretty interested here. They have, what was it? It was Yon Dondozo, Magma Storm Heatran. I don't remember the Rillaboom. I'm assuming it was a Solvester Miracle Seed, the Choice Specs Fluttermane, Sash Darker Shifu, and Rocky Helmet, Roost, Tail, and Mence. This is going to be a pretty unique matchup because I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be expecting here. Like, I realistically don't. Yawn is pretty annoying, and Magma Storm Trapping is not great. We'll figure it out as we go along. Bronzong here, not that great against them, although... Heatran is a little bit annoying for this team. I might actually have to. Do I have to? I guess I don't have... I mean, Dark... Oh, geez. There's a lot of things that could go wrong here. The fact that they have Darker Shifu and Rillaboom. Yeah, this is not, like, super solid. But I'm going to try out the Roaring Moon here. Roaring Moon plus Armarouge. I think I am going to go straight up for the offense here and just see how it goes. This looks like a really tough matchup for this team, but... Gonna see what I can pilot through. I would like to get some pretty big damage. If I can get the Urshifu, for instance, I'd be in a really good spot with an Earthquake plus Heat Wave. But again, I'm not too confident right here. But we'll find out. We'll find out. It is going to be a pretty big deal of whether I can get that Dark Urshifu out the field. We're going to see Heatran plus the Dark Urshifu, which is not too surprising as I do lead the Roaring Moon plus the Armarouge K. I would like to go for an Earthquake immediately. I do have the Earthquake. I am going to go for that Earthquake immediately. I'm actually going to go for an Endure here. So we are going to Endure. Or do I want a Heat Wave immediately? Earthquake is going to do a lot to Heatran, but it's not going to be enough, which is a pretty big problem. Maybe I sack into the... No, I need Terrain. I think I do Endure. Let's see. Heatran gonna protect, which is completely fine. All right, we're gonna go for the Endure with the Armarouge. Let's see. Oh, they went for Sucker Punch. Okay, in case the Armarouge attacked here. All right, we are able to go for the Earthquake here. All right. I really, really want to make a crazy aggressive read the following turn. I don't know if it's going to work or not. We'll find out if it works or not. But Entity Switch is kind of obvious here for the Terrain. If I can potentially catch the Rillaboom on the Switch, I think I'm in a great spot. So I think I'm going to go for... I think I want to U-turn the... I want to U-turn to Heatran, and I'm actually going to go for a double Endure again because I'm trying to catch the Rillaboom and the Sucker Punch. Okay, we are going to see the Heatran switch out. Yep, this should be Rillaboom because they expect my Roaring Moon to switch out. Beautiful. Okay. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, okay, okay. We're in really... Please Sucker Punch again. I failed the Endure, which is on purpose, by the way, because... Yes! Got him. Got him. You turn off into the Rillaboom for that veteran chip Because if it is Assault Vest, it should go down to +2 expanding force. Now we can go out into our entity. And we're gonna double out our afterward. The scary part is this Urshifu is still really terrifying to play against. But yeah, we're going out for a Roaring Moon and stored power. Let's see if I predict the protect switch to Heatran correctly. We are gonna see the Rillaboom retreat. Yep. Okay, this is Heatran. Yep, as anticipated. We are going to switch out our entity, go out into our Roaring Moon once again to preserve the terrain. Let's see if Urshifu protects. Nice. I could have went for Helping Hand stored power. I don't know if that knocks out Heatran. I don't think it does, but if it did, oh, it definitely did based on that damage. It was Berry Heatran on this team? Okay. Sure. And what's sad is I still don't win the game off that rate. I got a couple turns right, but this is still pretty rough. I cannot lie. This is still pretty rough. Kind of want to go for an Earthquake. And maybe an Endure here. Or I could go for the Heat Wave. I think I'm going to Earthquake Endure. Let's see how this plays out. I'd really love to get rid of the Heatran. I think Heatran would probably attack, but we'll see. Endure is going to come out from the Armarouge. They protected the Heatran. Okay, that's fine. I could have went for the Heat Wave, it looks like. I was a little bit worried about Rillaboom. Like, it's again a Rillaboom Sucker Punch mind game once again. I got it wrong here. I could have went for the Heat Wave, it looks like, but that's fine. I guess I'm still decent damage into that Urshifu. And we're going to see another weak armor policy boost, okay? They go for a Wicked Blow. I do have that Endure, so I am able to survive the turn. Now we play it again. Now we play it again. So we get our weak armor off. Okay. I wonder if I could save the Armarouge as a sweep, because like Armarouge is still pretty decent against their team overall. I think now. They should definitely switch on to Rillaboom this turn, I think. Or they double attack here. That's their two options, I think. I wouldn't mind going for a Breaking Swipe here, I think. And maybe just go for that Heat Wave anyway. I think I do want to go for the Heat Wave. Let's see if they go to Rillaboom route. Ooh, they detect, which is a good play. So they're attacking with the Heatran. Smart. Okay. Didn't consider to protect on the Urshifu. That's a really smart play. Okay. Because I wasn't really going to try to threaten the knock on Heatran. I thought about Earthquaking, swapping an Entity if I was going to make a play. But yeah, it's a really strong option from them. Okay. That's going to be pretty bad because I didn't get rid of Heatran, so my Torkoal can't sweep yet under Trick Room. Our power going to knock out the Armarouge. Perfectly fine. How fast is my Entity? Please tell me my Entity is fast enough. Oh, why? Okay, wait. No, Dark Urshifu doesn't run Jolly. Am I willing to risk it, though? I think I am, right? If it's Jolly, I think I was kind of already in a tough spot. I'm going to go Entity here. I'm going for Tailwind Dazzling Gleam. I'm hoping the Urshifu is going down to the Dazzling Gleam. That's basically all I want to say here. I'm going for Tailwind. Gonna go for Dazzle. Let's see if we outspeed the Urshifu, which could switch, but I didn't think it was. Yeah, the Heatran's gonna swap out for the Rillaboom because it doesn't want to take the Earthquake or the Salamence, which also makes sense here. So this is a really ideal spot if I outspeed, knock out the Dark Urshifu, because I'm in such a good spot if I do. So here comes a Tailwind. Otherwise I have to Terra Fairy, and I don't like Terra Fairy because they could have Flash Cannon pinned. Good. I think I had to play risky there because if they flat... Actually, wait. Does that Heatran run sub or Flash Cannon? I actually don't remember. But I'm in a good spot now. Psychic Terrain ends, which is perfectly fine. I think if I get the Trick Room up, I sweep with the Heat Wave now. So that's pretty good. The Rillaboom is going to come in. Okay. I think I just go for a Breaking Swipe here. and a Trick Room. I Tera. I need the extra power from. Well, they still have Tera themselves, so I think I need the extra power for Salamence too. You know what? Let's go for Breaking Swipe here, and let's go for a Trick Room. Yeah. I go for Fake Out and Indy, which is pretty fair. Okay, so I'm able to get some pretty decent damage off into the Rillaboom with that Breaking Swipe. Lower that attack on that Rillaboom as well, which is pretty good. Let's see what the Salamence does. Is it going to be Draco Meteor into the... Okay, Draco Meteor into Roaring Moon. That's fine. So Roaring Moon is going to go down, but that Roaring Moon is at now -2 special attack, which is pretty big because they can't really do that much damage to the Torkoal here. Oh, but they still have Heatran. I never got rid of the Heatran. Oh, no. Oh, no. I messed up. I completely forgot. I thought I got rid of Heatran. I got rid of the Urshifu. Oh, I had this in a really good position. Okay, what could I have done to avoid that, though? Was the play like... Oh, the play was to Tera Poison then. The Roaring Moon. Yeah, I had to Tera Poison the Roaring Moon there and Breaking Swipe. That's not good. I'm gonna Earth Power and I'm gonna Trick Room here. Okay, I still see it out here. Well, they went for Roost, which that kind of lowers the output of my chances of here. Okay, Woodhammer and an Indy. I am able to survive. Okay. So here comes an Earth Power into the Rillaboom. It does survive, which is fine. Critical hit. Comes out. The Rillaboom should be in Dazzling Gleam range if I Tera Fairy. The Salamence, unfortunately, is going to be the problem here. I kind of wish I Earth Powered the Salamence instead. But yeah, this is the problem of being Choice Lock Torkoal in this endgame position. Let's go for a Tera Fairy Dazzling Gleam. We'll see how this endgame goes because I don't think Indy's going to be able to two-shot the Salamence, unfortunately. Dang, I completely forgot I didn't get rid of Heatran. I thought it was dark. For some reason, I thought it was Darker Shifu, but I need to get rid of Darker Shifu in time. And then I completely forgot they preserved the Heatran. So, Grassy Glide going to come out into the Indy. I am able to survive. We are able to get a Earth Power fail into the Salamence. We are going to be... Actually, isn't a Tera Grass Heatran too? We go for Draco Meteor, but Indy survives. We are able to go for Dazzling Gleam here. I mean, it's not bad damage. We're also getting Grassy Terrain Healing from the Salamence. So you know what? If the Heatran goes down to the combination of like the Earth Power plus Dazzling Gleam, maybe there's a chance. I mean, maybe, because they can't really Tera the Salamence. The Heatran's the only one that can Tera, and if it's Tera Grass... The thing is, the Heatran's really low, so I think it goes down to the combination. So this actually might not be an end position yet. I actually might have a fighting chance just because the Heatran's so low. I thought the Heatran was a bit about half, but it looks like I was wrong on that. So Dazzling Gleam, Earth Power. Tailwind also petered out the perfect timing because I was faster than the Salamence the previous turn, but now I'm not. We're going to see a Tera. This should be the Heatran, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Heatran. This should be Tera Grass. I'm surprised they're going for this now instead of the next turn. Do they have Protect or do they not know I'm Specs yet? Maybe they thought I was calling the... what was it? They probably thought I was calling the Rillaboom swap the previous turn. Okay, Heatran survives. Please KO Heatran Indy. This is so important right here. Dazzling Gleam! Let's go! Okay, I really am surprised they didn't just go for a Grassy Terrain Healing. But maybe they thought, okay, I could double up the Salamence with Dazzling Gleam plus Heat Wave, and it would just a 50-50 in that position. Oh boy, the critical hit on Mence, I don't really think it matters. I'm pretty sure Indy was winning, assuming no crits or flinches from the Mence in the late game. Because I don't know what Mence was doing once the Heatran went down. But oh my goodness, that was way too close. I completely forgot about the Heatran, so I wasn't technically safe. Definitely an endgame Tera Poison Roaring Moon endgame would have been so much more helpful, but... Still found a way to navigate through that. Like I had to make some pretty hard calls right there, and luckily they did work out, I suppose. Grimmsnarl, Gastrodon, Heatran, Cresselia, the Sinistra, and the Glastrier. This is going to be a pretty tough one. They got a lot of walls here where They have the Grimmsnarl with screens. They have their Glastrier with a Tera type. Could be very confusing here for me. All right. So, I think Bronzong, big Bronzong is going to go in. I got to get rid of that Heatran first. Heatran's going to be the biggest threat. I kind of actually, their team is very passive. I think I actually want to lead the Ursaluna immediately just so I can threaten Heatran. Because if I get rid of Heatran, I'm in a good position. Or if I get Trick 'em Up in under the right condition, I'm in a really good spot. So I'm going to lead the Indy, I think, with the Ursaluna, and then I'm going to have Torkoal and Bronze on the back. The play is to probably just try to sweep their team using the Bronzong as much as possible. And we'll see how this is going to happen because I'm really relying a lot of damage output on my Specs Torkoal. I also probably do need my Ursaluna decently throughout the game because I'll probably need it for the Gastrodon. If I can't pick up knockouts, this is where it's going to struggle a bit because the Armarouge mode isn't really too great in this matchup, I think. There's just so many problems where there's a Cresselia, there's a Heatran, Grimmsnarl with Light Screen. I just don't think that Armarouge can really break through any of these Pokemon. Like, you can break through Glastrier and Sinistcha, but those are probably like the last two my opponent would probably bring in this matchup realistically. I can see one of the two. Even then, like, I think it's pretty tough for them to realistically bring. Like, I think you're always bringing Heatran. I think you're always bringing Grimmsnarl. I think you're always bringing Cresselia. A Gastrodon might probably be that last Pokemon. So we're going to see Grimmsnarl, Cresselia. So as you can see, a very passive wall that my opponent's going to set up. I got to figure a way that I can break through this. So Ursaluna plus the Entity here. Okay. So get that Psychic Surge off immediately. We will go for a... don't really have too much off the bat. I kind of want to go straight for the Facade into Grimmsnarl and maybe a Helping Hand here too, or maybe just a Dazzling Gleam just so I can get damage into the Grimmsnarl. Seems pretty solid. Hard Bronzong isn't too bad, but I don't think it's necessary. I think I'd just go for the damage into the Grimmsnarl. So you know what? Let's just go for Dazzling Gleam and Facade immediately as Reflect's going to come out. I don't know what does more, the Helping Hand, Facade, or Reflect, or the Dazzling Gleam spread with no light screen. So it's not really doing too much as we see here. I'm able to go for Facade here into the Grimmsnarl. And it looks like they went for a reverse Trick Room. I didn't really need a reason to set up Trick Room in this board state, so I'm pretty happy with this decision. So that's pretty good. And now I get my Flame Orb, which is pretty big on the Ursaluna. I think now I probably just want to go for a Facade into the Grimmsnarl to pick up the knockout. I should be able to pick up the knockout with that Flame Orb Guts boost. And then I think I switch out here into Torkoal or Bronzong is the question. I wouldn't mind going out in a Bronzong, I guess. Bronzong isn't too bad. I could skill swap Flash Fire from the Heatran later, which I think is pretty ideal. The Cresselia's not really doing anything other than Lunar Blessing. So I think I'm going to take it. I'm going to go for the Bronzong here. Yes, I know I'll give them Levitate for the Heatran, but I don't think it's too bad. They're probably just light screening here. Oh, no, light screen. That's actually really ideal here. So that means my Torkoal could probably sweep them with the Eruption. So them not saying light screen is actually a really big deal. I'll definitely take it. Okay. As we see a Psychic going to be fired off in the Ursaluna, which is completely fine. All right, beautiful. Critical hit, unfortunate, but definitely a pretty good turn here for me. All right, nice. So let's see if they bring out their Heatran, which is kind of what I'm expecting. Ally Switch is one move I am a little bit worried about, but it should be okay. So let's see. Gastrodon coming in. Ooh, all right. Interesting to see Gastrodon come out. All right. So I kind of just want to get some damage off realistically. I'm going to go for Facade into Cresselia and... do I want Facade into Cresselia? I feel like I probably KO it with Torkoal actually because they don't screen them. You know what? I'm Facade into Gastrodon, gain that chip, and I'm going to set up an Iron Defense with Bronzong, which I think is going to be pretty big. We're going to see the Cresselia retreat. This might be Heatran then? No, Sinistcha. They brought no Heatran in this matchup? What? There's no way. Wow. I was not expecting that, but that works out beautiful for me. I'm able to get the Iron Defense set up with the Bronzong pretty safely. Y'all gonna come on a Bronzong, sure, I guess, but it's not that big of a deal. We are able to get a huge Facade off into the Gastrodon here. And look at how much damage that is, even through that Reflect. That is some pretty impressive damage across the board right here. And now, This is pretty tough for them. This is pretty tough for them. I don't mind getting a free switch into Torkoal. So if they want to KO the Ursaluna, I am completely fine with that. I am just going to go for a Facade into the Gastrodon, and there's some fun plays I could potentially do with the Bronzong. I could skill swap to Sinistra just to get the Matcha Gotcha. Ooh, you know what? Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm going to skill swap the Sinistra because I don't need Levitate at all. Like, I don't think the Earth Power reading this turn, so I am able to get the Hospitality. And this does activate, right? Yeah, it does activate, so Ursaluna is going to be able to live an attack from the Gastrodon, even if it's like Scald, I guess. You go for Recover, that's perfectly fine. And now the Gastrodon's going to be in range of Body Press guaranteed, I think, the next turn. I don't know if it was going to go down to Body Press stuff before, but this Facade, huge damage in the Gastrodon. We were able to see the Matcha Gotcha be performed into the Ursaluna and the Bronzong. The Bronzong takes it extremely well. The Ursaluna takes it well. And okay, no burns, which is fantastic because that was like the thing I was worried about the most. Okay, beautiful. So, oh, Bronzong did stay asleep though, which is kind of fine. I'm just gonna Facade again the Gastrodon, and I think I'll actually switch out Bronzong. I'll go out in the NDD. The Matcha Gotcha play or the Hospitality skill swap play was pretty funny, but we will go on in NDD. I think I'm pretty set with NDD as long as I get Trick 'em Up in the free switch of Torkoal, so I'm okay with that. They do have Muddy Water, okay. So Ursaluna is gonna go down. Accuracy fall, not that big of a deal here, so let's see. They still have Tera though. Ooh, Calm Mind. That's gonna change it a little bit. All right. Okay. Interesting. Although I think this is a free Torkoal bring out here, and I click Tera Fire Eruption, or I could click Tera Fire Heat Wave, and I'll probably be okay. So let's go out into Torkoal here. I guess if the Sinistra is a defensive type, it might be a little bit confusing. We will bring out the Torkoal, so Muddy Water is doing a lot less damage. We're going to go for the Tera Fire here. Just do as much damage as we possibly can. Let's go for a Heat Wave, I suppose, into both. And let's go for a... I feel like Follow Me is probably correct here. They might try to go for an Earth Power read and a Torkoal, and I don't want Earth Power Matcha Gotcha to potentially knock out the Torkoal, so I'd rather just make this play here. So let's just go for that Tera Fire. Let's go for the Heat Wave. On the I probably should have switched out my Bronzong. I was probably in the wrong to go for that Sinistra play. I was really hoping to pick up the knockout on the Gastrodon. I was hoping that since it was Yawn, I was hoping in no Recover. I was just hoping for Protect, but this one has Yawn and Protect, or Yawn and Recover, it looks like, so it kind of changed my plans a bit. But I see the Matcha Gotcha here. Gonna come out into both. As you can see, the Torkoal takes quite a bit of damage, but yeah, Earth Power, they were hoping that that I did leave the Torkoal vulnerable, and perfect. I am able to get the Heat Wave off. I missed a Gastrodon. I hit the Sinistra. How awful is that? It shouldn't be too bad. I get rid of the Sinistra, which is nice. I am a little bit worried about this end game now, though, but I think I should be all right. The Gastrodon gonna be able to heal with the leftover. Oh boy, this actually gets a little bit rough now. Yeah, this gets a little bit rough. Yeah, that miss is actually going to be a bit costly. Cresselia going to come in. Because I missed, I'm a little bit worried about this position now. I'm really surprised that they didn't have a defensive Tera with Sinistra, I suppose. Or maybe it just was... Yeah, I wonder if it was Tera Grass. I'm just going to go for a Heat Wave here, and I'm just going to go for Follow Me. They shouldn't be able to knock out Indy with a Psychic. That means I should be able to live an attack from the Gastrodon. They could go for Lunar Blessing Earth Power here, but let's find out. They just go for Psychic. I should live one Psychic, I think. Yeah, I do live one Psychic, which is pretty big. They go for an Earth Power. Beautiful. Okay. And because they didn't Lunar Blessing, Gastrodon should go down in a Heat Wave, assuming I hit the Heat Wave this time. So all I have to do, hit both, please. But yeah, just Gastrodon specifically would have been okay. We are able to get this Choice Specs Heat Wave off. Look at how much damage I'm doing to that Gashon. Absolutely amazing. The good damage into the Cresselia as well. And now that should wrap it up. So a few mistakes that I made here and there. I a little bit greedy because I didn't think the Gashon had recover. I really thought like, okay, if it has protect, it has protect. Not that big of a deal. But recover, making it survive the turn with more... a little bit awkward there, but should be able to seal up the game here with Heat Wave. We just wait for the Bronzong to wake up. I guess we could theoretically lose this. Like, it's not a winnable game guaranteed, but we do hit our Heat Wave. Good. If they second crit, looks like we were surviving the second crit, so they need another Heat Wave miss onto Cresselia. Cresselia can Lunar Blessing spam into Bronzong. I don't have leftovers. It would become a really weird timer game. I don't know if I'd win. I think it depends on how much +6 body press is doing, and I don't realistically think it does that much. It might be able to beat the Cresselia. I think it would do at least 25%, so it would beat the Lunar Blessing healing, but it would really come down to the Cresselia's item. If it's helmet, it would be really bad, but sweet. A little bit sloppy, but definitely showcase the power of like Torkoal. And yeah, no Heatran for some reason. I really don't get it. All right, let's go over to games. In game 1, wasn't expecting a Shadow Ball imprison Farigiraf, but my opponent had a hard time of dealing damage to Bronzong after he was able to set up iron defenses and knock out Farigiraf early in the game. In game 2, had to make some crazy calls as my matchup was not great into this team. Forgetting about Heatran in the back hurt as it could have been hard to deal with, so a Tera Poison Roaring Moon game plan might have been safer, but the Tera Fairy Dazzling Gleam Entity was still able to prove valuable in Trick Room. In game 3, the skill swap play for Hospitality was cool, but I shouldn't have been greedy and let the Bronzong go to sleep, as the endgame could have been dicey if my opponent had any defensive Tera types for the Torkoal. Overall, this team, I thought it was really unique. I thought it was super creative, and I did face the opponent at LAIC the first round day 2, and let me say that matchup was not great, but my opponent played extremely well, and it was really hard to figure out like which mode that they were going to go for. I thought it had a really cool combination, really great synergy overall, and it got to showcase a lot of that in today's video. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. You can try out the team with the rental code on your screen, and of course subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.